Welcome. Thank you for watching this video and clicking on it. I made a beat only using the sine wave in Serum, and I didn't edit Serum. I just used a sine wave and then threw audio effects on. And what I mean by this is, here's a prime example. Everything looks like this in Serum. This exact preset. It's just literally just a sine wave, and then there's a bunch of audio effects on top of everything. And that's what's editing the sound. Let's give it a listen and then let's break it down. There's a quick preview. Let's dive right in. So I won't show the Serum because it literally is just this for everyone. I started out by making these chords that sound like this. There is actually some compression happening. I'll explain that in a little bit, but that is still technically on it. And then I threw on a little EQ, get rid of the low end here, put on a little RC color, give it some character, and some chorus, give it kind of some width there. That's kind of the first sound I made. I also made these like lead sounds. So there's this one. That's just a sine wave with some distortion. I recently bought this plugin. It's actually pretty good. I kind of like it. Little lo-fi oddity. And then some more RC color. And then I took that sound and I just pitched it up an octave, changed some notes around. And I think it got rid of the RC color here. I might have tweaked the saturation and lo-fi oddity a little bit, but... and then there's also this. I'm not too sure what this sound is. Oh, this is the bass. This is what it would normally sound like. I threw a little Ramsoid distortion cooker around here. Threw a little shaper box. And some decapitator. And then there is this other sound. I'm not too sure what this is. Just like a little pluck. It looks like this is made with through the RC color on here. Using the depth for plucks preset, looks like I tweaked it a bit. Little layer, which is a reverb plugin. And then some more shaper box. I think this is probably the same preset that I'm using for the bass as well. And then besides that, I have this, I made like a little riser. And it's just using RC color, OTT, and wider. So RC color's adding some white noise on top. That's kind of why you hear that white noise in there. Then I have OTT and then wider on top of it. And then it is, there is some automation happening with this one, specifically with RC color. I'm just using the magnitude, like creating a little curve for the magnitude parameter. And I think magnitude, the best way I could describe it is it's kind of like a mix. So it's like the mix for RC color. So you can see here how they kind of even the distortion one. And then I took that, I recorded it out to audio. I took the very tail end of it and I made it into like this little like crash symbol. I was trying to make like a little crash or impact or something. And then I EQ'd out a lot of it and then put some decapitator on. So that's what it would sound like without this. And then I also just made it into like 2 smaller ones. I could honestly make that into like a hi-hat. That would have been a good idea. And then I had this, which I made. I think this was made from a return rack. I initially made this project a couple weeks ago, so I don't fully remember. but I think I made it from this return rack here and then just bounced it out to audio. I'm guessing it's this one. Just ran through the return rack or something. That would make sense. And that's kind of it for the main section here. We'll play it all together. Yeah, sounds pretty nice. And then I made the drums, and so initially I tried making this kick drum. And I put some EQ on it, some distortion from the 808 cooker, or distortion cooker, some thump, which is just adding more distortion, some RC color, adding some noise and distortion, some shaper box, some more EQ, and then some Fatcherist, which is the distortion as well. So I took that and I bounced this out to audio, which is this one. And then I increased the gain on it, and I threw some thermal, which is another distortion plugin here, and then some RC color, giving it some more noise. And that's how I got the kick. And also too, the kick is being the main group here of all the instruments is being sidechained to the kick. Actually, I have two of these. We don't need this one anymore. So that's kind of why you hear this. It's ducking a little bit. Making room for the kick to come in there. So that's the kick drum made. Then I made this like little snarey thing. Which is just this, with some RC color, adding some noise, some distortion, some digital, the distortion cooker, some EQ, just taking up the low end, some digitalis, some cataclysm, adding some more distortion here. So I took that, bounced it out to audio again. I did like some little reversing into it, so I just took it, reversed it, and then like adjusted it here. So I took that, added some decapitator on it, which is a distortion plugin. Added some proto-verb, which is a reverb. Some lo-fi oddity, doing a little compression. Another distortion and Thatcherist. And some thermal. The same distortion preset that I'm using on the drums, just minus the width, I believe, and maybe I adjusted a couple other tiny things there. And that's pretty much how I got the snare. And then it's the hi-hat, which is just a sine wave with some EQ. Some RC color, adding some noise, some distortion, and some digital. Shaper box. MP. And crystallizer. There is also one more crystallizer that's on the group here as well. I'm giving it kind of like some, pitching it down 100 cents there. And then I took the same thing and then I made, I'm trying to make like a little bit of an open hat here. So it's pretty much the same thing, just with a longer tail. And that's how we got the drums, and all the drums put together. It's sounding a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please hit a like and the subscribe button. That would help me out a lot. I also too have my own website where if you want to listen to some of my music, it's on here. I also sell my own sample packs. There's one for free if you want to download them as well. It just contains 4 basses. There's a video on it that I made. I'll put a little link in the description. It's called awaresounds.com is the website. The link will be down below. I appreciate you guys watching. Bye bye.